So now chemical properties of alkyl halides we will discuss. Before that, chemical nature of CX bond in haloalkanes. See, halogen atom is more electronegative than carbon, hence carbon halogen bond is polar in nature, with partial positive charge on carbon and partial negative charge on halogen. Suppose if you take RX bond, halogen is more electronegative, that's why here negative charge. So on carbon there is a positive charge. So any nucleophile can attack at carbon with elimination of halide ion. Thus, alkyl halides can undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions easily. So here is showing nucleophile will attack on carbon, then halogen will eliminate as X minus, you will get RNU product, X minus eliminated. So here different products you will get depends on substitution of different nucleophiles. So these are the nucleophiles, different nucleophiles attacking on alkyl halide. Then we are getting different products. These are different products. These are the product names. See, different reagents we can use. Suppose if you use NaOH or KOH, aqueous NaOH or KOH, so we will get nucleophile OH minus. Then we will get product ROH. The compound name is alcohol. Next, water, H2O. If you use same, we will get H2O nucleophile, then we will get product alcohol. Next, NaOR dash. So if you use this reagent, then we will get RO minus as nucleophile, we will get ROR dash ether. So there are different reagents they given, corresponding products you can see here. Similarly, KCN reagent if you use, Cn minus is nucleophile, will get RCN, that is nitrile or cyanide. AgCN if you use, will get isonitride, will get RNC. So similarly, if you use these reagents, you will get corresponding products. So types of nucleophilic substitution reactions. Just now we have seen alkyl halides generally easily undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions. So these are two types, one is SN1, another one is SN2 reaction. SN1 reaction means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. SN2 means bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. So first we will see SN1 reaction. SN1 reaction. Unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. The example they given, hydrolysis of tertiary butyl chloride. So this is a tertiary butyl chloride. We are treating with NaOH. So when we are treating with NaOH, the Cl minus eliminated and OH minus substituted. So we will get alcohol product and NaCl byproduct. So we will see mechanism of this reaction. Generally, SN1 mechanism involves two steps. So the reaction takes place in two steps. Step 1, the tertiary butyl chloride undergoes dissociation to produce tertiary butyl carbocation, which is stable carbocation. So now this is first step. From this step, this chlorine is eliminated as Cl minus and will get carbocation. This is carbocation intermediate. So very important, carbocation intermediate. Next, step 2, the tertiary butyl carbocation is attacked by the nucleophile OH minus to form butyl alcohol. Now our nucleophile from NaOH, so we'll attack on this carbocation and we'll get alcohol. So this is SN1 mechanism, second step. So SN1 mechanism involves two steps. First step is formation of carbocation, second step is attacking of nucleophile. So very important SN1 and SN2 reactions. Every year they are asking one question from these two for our board exams. Next, out of these two steps, first step is slow. Generally slow step is called as rate determining step, RDS, rate determining step. Rate of reaction depends on this RDS. So the rate law of the reaction is given by rate of reaction equal to K into concentration of tertiary butyl chloride and concentration of OH minus. So here with respect to OH minus, order is 0 because rate of reaction does not depend on OH minus ion concentration. It only depends on tertiary butyl chloride concentration. That's why rate of reaction follows first order kinetics. So it is unimolecular reaction because in RDS step only one molecule is involved and it is first order kinetics. Next, characteristics of SN1 reaction. What are the important points regarding SN1 reaction? If the alkyl halide forms a more stable carbocation, then SN1 mechanism is favored. So speed of reaction or rate of reaction depends on stability of carbocation. The order of reactivity of different halides towards SN1 mechanism is benzyl, allyl, tertiary alkyl, secondary alkyl, primary alkyl, last one is methyl. Because the carbocation stability order follows like this only. So more stable carbocation is formed and hence has a greater reactivity. More stable carbocation, greater reactivity. Allyl and benzyl carbocation is stabilized by resonance. So benzyl halide react via mechanism like this. See, this is a allyl halide and benzyl halide. Related carbocations, these are stabilized by resonance. That's why these are more reactive compared to normal alkyl halides. Then the reactivity order of different alkyl halides. So R is same. Iodine, bromine, chlorine, fluorine. See how Ri bond is weak bond, that's why we can easily break this and we can add nucleophile easily. So that's why Ri is more reactive than RBr, RCl, RF. So here the given reason, this is due to good leaving ability of halide ions. So bond breaking is easy, so it acts as good leaving groups. Next, SN1 reaction is favored by polar solvents. So why SN1 reaction is favored by polar solvents? While breaking of bond, that polar solvent molecules will help during breaking of bond. Next, SN2 mechanism. Hydrolysis of methyl halides. Example, SN2 means bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Here 2 refers bimolecular. So when methyl halide is treated with aqueous NaOH, it forms methyl alcohol. The reaction follows SN2 mechanism. This is the reaction. So we will see mechanism. So this reaction takes place in one step. This is also called as concerted reaction mechanism. So here this is our methyl bromide and this is nucleophile. So nucleophile is attacking from a rear side of the molecule So we'll get a transition state. This is a transition state. Transition state is showing bond making between carbon and oxygen. Similarly, bond breaking between carbon and bromine. Both are going on simultaneously. So this transition state is unstable state. Why? Because if you see here, so around carbon there are 5 bonds. It is a very unfavorable state. So what will happen? Immediately this bromine will go and OH will attack from their side of the molecule. So this is alcohol and Br minus. So like this SN2 mechanism takes place in single step. And the rate of reaction depends on concentration of both alkyl halides and nucleophilic reagent. So that's why rate law is given by rate with respect to alkyl halide 1, with respect to base also 1. So the order of reaction is 2. What are the characteristics of SN2 reaction? So it is a bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Order of reactivity of alkyl halides is first methyl halide, next primary, secondary, tertiary. Because here steric hindrance is increasing from methyl halide to tertiary halide. When steric hindrance increases means then attacking of this nucleophile will be difficult. See, OH minus is attacking. Suppose instead of H groups, if you keep here CH3 groups. So CH3 groups means, so again we have to write 3 more hydrogens. So bulkiness is in steric hindrance means bulkiness around the carbon. So when bulkiness is increasing around the carbon, this OH minus cannot attack freely. So that's why rate of reactivity decreases. So due to steric hindrance for the attack of nucleophile, methyl halide is more reactive than tertiary alkyl halide. And it is favored by strong nucleophiles. Nucleophile should be strong. It is favored by non-polar or polar protic solvents. So when there is a non-polar solvent, it won't attract the nucleophile attack on attack on carbon. If it is polar solvent, these polar molecules will attract that nucleophile. So attacking of nucleophile on carbon will be difficult. That's why non-polar solvents or polar aprotic solvents are favorable for SN2 reaction. So this is about SN1 and SN2 reactions. Very important questions. In board exams, we will get one question from these two. Thank you.